Okay, so these are some potential maps, new SSL 2 candidate maps. Okay, so let's take a look here. For anyone who wants to download maps, by the way, this is the best map site that exists for pro gamer maps. 910 is an ex-pro gamer who actually runs ASL now called SSL. He's like the kind of the guy in charge of it. Works over at Africa TV now, Soup. But great guy. That's his map website. So like you can find all the pro maps basically there. So just a little shout out to that. Anyways, let's take a look. I haven't seen any of these maps yet, so let's look. All right, first up, Death Valley. Wait, I need to like make this a little bit bigger or something. Hold on. Wow, I'm not good at the internet, guys. That's funny how making the window bigger makes it smaller. That makes perfect sense. Holy crap. Okay, so this is Death Valley. Let's take a look. Okay, so we got, it's a 2-player map. So we got top left over here and bottom right over here. So I already see some absolutely insane shit going on. First off, we have eggs over here. 3 rows of eggs. Wow, that's crazy, man. Oh my God. Look at that. Like, you have this other way that you could get into a base that's actually really hard to remove for a lot, but you can drill through if you want with a worker. So that's kind of interesting. We see that there are the double assimilators at the entrance, so that could be closed off, but it's up a ramp. So, like, you could close this off completely and just play as if there's nothing there. That's kind of wild, actually. And then we have, let's see, like the double ramps over here, some kind of interesting high grounds, but it's hard to get into that area. Oh my God. Okay. So now we're actually starting to understand what this is. This is actually a lot like the map Third World. Not exactly, but it takes some ideas from that. This area is split from the rest of the map. Okay, so you have this, you have like the main bases that go with the eggs. So like in early game, you're going to be playing the top part of the map, the top and right part of the map. And then like later on, I guess you'd probably play the bottom part of the map. So like, let's say you lose the top part of the map, you might close that off to yourself with the assimilator so you can't really be attacked by ground. That could be a possible strategy there. But there's like, here's your natural, and then they get a natural, and then there's the other possible base. But it takes a while to kill the eggs. So, wow, that's wild. That's insane. That would be a very fun map to cast. I'm not sure if I'd want to play that one. Okay. Metropolis. Metropolis was the name of an old famous StarCraft 2 map, but this is not that at all. Okay, so this is a 4-player map. Corners are your starting spawns. We can see that the ramp is here, 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 and here. So you go down into a natural, pretty well defended. It's a huge main base. The first thing this makes me think of is Andromeda, if anyone remembers that old map. The base is so gigantic that it's going to be very hard to stop drop type play, right? Look at how thin pieces of this are. Like, you have a regular, like, main base-ish area, and then you have, like, this long-ass area that's going to be hard to defend against anything, really. Okay, looking into the center of the map, it looks like we might have stacked mineral patches here. The darkness of those patches make me think that that's stacked. And we have a geyser in the center as well. So that's kind of wild. See if maybe we can get a little bit of a better look at that. Yeah, those are stacked minerals. So that is insane. We have some fastest map stuff going on here. I don't know exactly how big the stack is. Let me just glance through and see. And he pops out. Okay, so it's 8 minerals. It's 8 minerals. So I'm guessing it's a 3,000 geyser and it's 8 mineral patches. So I guess 4 stacks on both. So that's really interesting, but that makes it like very easy to I can right click and translate to English. Listen, I'm not perfect at Korean, but I can read everything that has to do with StarCraft, okay? I'm very specialized. Anyways, so those are stacked in the middle. We haven't seen that in a pro map as of yet. And yeah, so like really big main. It definitely looks... I don't have any strong opinions about this map as far as who it'll favor. It'll probably be Protoss favored in, against Terran and Zerg favored against... Zerg favored... Actually, I think it'll be Zerg favored against everything because you can take this base really quick. But this map, looking at this, like this type of huge main base is going to be very hard for Terran to stop things in. So it could be a hard map because of that. But if you look out into the rest of the map here, maybe we should use this a little bit more. This is kind of like a... This is... We can zoom... Oh my god, it keeps it centered. What are we doing here? Okay, so you can see, right? So, like, here's your natural that you've taken. And then you go up here, and this is like... Oh, it does have a ramp there. Okay. I was going to say that looked like it might not be. But yeah, double entrance in that. Pretty wide open in the center. Looks like not too much buildable terrain. I think they probably made these little things as these are the places you can build a missile turret, that type of thing. Wild map. Because of how big the main bases are. And obviously stacked minerals is kind of cool. We'll see how much that gets used. Polestar. All right, 4-player map we can see in the corners. And let's take a look. Okay, so it looks like technically a high ground main base, but it has a wall here. So this is like... okay, so what it actually is the natural is low ground. I guess that's the right way to put it. High ground would be 12, 6, 3, and 9. Regular flatness of the map is all the other gray. And then you have low ground naturals. And that does make a little bit of a difference if people are wondering why I'm making that kind of distinction. Part of it is because you see a wall here, so it's harder to see things coming into your main base from that angle. Okay, so it looks like... Regular natural, that third base doesn't look too far away or too hard to get. The middle is pretty tight. What is that in the middle exactly? That's actually a little bit hard to see. So we have some hallucinated kakaroos. And like a couple... I think this is just decoration. This isn't stacked patches or anything. It's just like a few minerals. That might be so that you can like drill. Like to hold things. Sometimes that can be something people add into a map. Okay, so... Looking at this... It all looks pretty normal. I gotta say, like this is pretty wide open. This right here for attacking down into that area. Honestly, this map looks pretty decent for, like, for instance, Terran versus Protoss. Like, the 3 bases aren't going to be that hard to get. And, like, if you can control this general area, like, let's say your top left is Terran, you control this general area, you're going to choke the map up really, really quickly. But there are some good paths that Protoss could go on, for instance. But it actually looks pretty decent for Terran versus Protoss. As far as, like, you know, Protoss versus Zerg, that is a really doable third base with a third gas. And really all these bases are, like, if you look at these possible fourth bases, those are pretty turtleable as well for Protoss, so not bad. As far as Zerg versus Terran, nothing about this makes me think it's going to be like a particularly good map either way for that, right? Every base has a gas, so that's kind of good for Zerg. There's a lot of high ground bases, so that's good for Zerg. But it's just kind of standard. Nothing super sticks out. Old map with changes, Dominator. Okay, let's see what the changes are in Dominator. Okay, so Dominator is a map from last season. It's on the ladder right now. Okay, I'm honestly not sure what I'm seeing that's different here. There might be a different mineral stacks. Hold on. I play this map all the time, so I might be able to spot it. There might be different amounts of buildable terrain on some of the triangles. Basically, all these pizza slices are buildable except the ones that come out of the naturals. The ones that come out of the naturals are not buildable. Everything else is. Let's see if we can figure this out real quick. Okay, so the mineral base got changed a little bit. A little bit of repositioning. Better SimCity for Protoss at 12. Okay, so they kind of adapted. They changed it just slightly. They changed it just slightly. Push the minerals up against the wall a little bit, it looks like, as well. Okay, so nothing too big. I think Dominator is a pretty good map. It gives us pretty good games right now. I feel like I like it in all the matchups. It's kind of rare to see that. But honestly, 3-player maps have really hit a nice sweet spot in StarCraft. 3-player maps are doing very well, and I think that this is a solid 3-player map. All right, then we got Deja Vu. And taking a look at Deja Vu. Oh, they definitely changed that. Holy crap. I've played a lot of Deja Vu at this point. It's a very popular map at the moment. So it is a 4-player map, in case you don't recall. They redid this a little bit. Like the third base locations are slightly redone, it looks like. But really the center seems to be the big area. I'm gonna zoom in on this a little bit. See exactly what's going on here. It's a little bit hard to see. Okay. So the center area, like in Deja Vu, always had mineral patches in there before anyways. It looks like they removed 2 of the mineral patches here. They redid it slightly. Like it always went down as well, but this is a bit different. It was like a big stack and a big stack. This seems a little bit less choked in the center. It looks like mostly just slight quality of life changes. Sometimes you have maps and you play them for a while and you realize, oh, like this vision blocker or this area is a real problem in a given matchup. So it looks like they unclogged the center slightly, which is probably good. Definitely you get some turtled games with that center. Okay. No big changes there. And then Radion. And Radion is not going to be changed at all. Radion is a great map right now. Everyone's really liking it. Just a solid 4-player. And what is this? How about these maps? I don't like all the candidate maps. Okay, I think he's just showing other maps that some map makers are made. Okay, yeah, because those don't even look realistic. Those look like someone had fun in the map editor. All right, so those are the possible candidates right now. So let's go over them just real quick with their quality. This one's going to be insane, and this one's going to be very imbalanced. If they keep this. Third World was one of our most imbalanced maps that we ever had, which had a similar split where you couldn't get from one side to the other with ground units. And realistically, here you cannot. I think that this is going to probably be a Terran Graveyard is my bet. But it'll probably be TVP, like trying to hit timing pushes through the top. TVZ, you're going to have to do like Valkyrie Rush or something because they can just pop a drone down to the other side and you're going to have a hard time doing anything about that. It's going to be an insane map, Death Valley. Okay, Metropolis. Metropolis, it really gives me those Andromeda vibes with the shape of the main base. I personally have many bad memories of playing that map with how big and wide open it is. The amount of surface area for carriers to attack, for shuttles to come in, for arbiters to come in, for mutas to come in, for overlord drops to come in, for dropships to come in TVT. It's like you can't really defend it well. And it doesn't look like a map where you're going to be able to attack too easily because everything's up high grounds. The only low ground expansions are the center base and then you know, the naturals. So like when you're attacking uphill, that really, really slows things down, especially when you're going up a ramp. So yeah, seems like a tough map. Seems like a very tough map. I'm trying to envision a PVZ here. Doesn't seem too insane for PVZ. I guess one thing to mention is that the third base is very, very close. If you defend this general choke, let's say your bottom left, if you defend that choke, you can get that reasonably easily. That's kind of interesting. Okay, Polestar. Yeah, very choked up map. I don't think that this map will make it as is. I think they'll open it up a little bit if this one's going to be brought in. And then, of course, Dominator, Deja Vu, and Radeon are all just excellent, superb maps. I really hope that, well, they can do these changes, these small changes. They seem like some good quality of life changes. And just, it'll be good to keep those on the ladder as well, because we always just follow the SSL maps. So yeah, those are the possible maps for people. I'm sure people watching this are thinking, oh gosh, when is the next SSL? Well, it hasn't been announced yet, but they're generally around the same time each year. So coming up. But yeah, interesting maps. Let me know what you think.